Welcome everyone to session. We are going to do a healing session on trauma today, on if you've had a loss. So a trauma dealing with a loss. Take a comfortable position with me. Let's do some healing. Let's get you to understand why things are the way they are, why things happen. What are you supposed to learn from? How do you move on? How do you go forward? How do you deal with this? How do you handle it? How do you handle a trauma? How do you handle a loss? I want you can lay down. You don't have to necessarily watch this, just listen. When you're going through a trauma, you feel like your whole world is falling apart. It leaves you in a state of mind of very confused. A lot of confusion. It fills your whole body up with darkness, it feels like. Or a feeling that's heavy, doesn't feel good. You start getting all these overwhelming emotions because you just can't understand why is this happening? Why did this happen? So as you take a comfortable position, I want you to take all of your focus and your attention and put it on yourself. Put it on your breath. Put all of your focus on your breath. And I want you to start breathing in nice and slowly. Just control it. You're not going to want to. I understand that it's really annoying. It's too much sometimes, but you got to make yourself. You got to make yourself two things to get through this. So you're going to put your focus on your breath and you're going to control your breath nice and slow. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. I want you to do it deep and release it all the way as I talk so that you can focus on breathing while you listen to the wisdom, to the message, to some truth to give you just even a little bit of peace today, or when you watch this session, I mean. So it gives you just even a little bit of relief helps. Okay? I know everybody says time heals. It does. You don't want to hear all that stuff right now. It's all right. Just focus on breathing. You're going to get through this, but it's not going to be easy. But in the end, you'll see why everything played out the way it is. And you'll see why you had to go through this if you are open to evolving and getting through this and just understanding and making sure you do get through this, especially for your family as well. If you have to take care of kids, if you have to take care of any of your family or your partner. So just keep breathing with me and keep your focus. If it starts scattering again, I understand it's hard. Just try to refocus on your breath. I know your body's in pain. When I went through my trauma, it felt like knives sticking out of my whole entire body, and it was like I just couldn't move. So I understand. I also help my clients through this now. They are doing a lot better. They have more peace, but you do have to be patient. It does take time to heal. It's not going to happen overnight. You do have to go through the process. But I want you to know, don't be scared, okay? Don't fear. I know the unknown's scary. You feel completely alone. You don't understand why they left. You don't understand why they're not here anymore. Why would something so bad happen like that? And I understand that, okay? When a tragedy happens, when we go through a loss, sometimes it is a fluke accident. It's not planned. But before we come down here as souls, we make these contracts for us to learn lessons. We work with these, with each soul that we have, experiences with down here. You'll understand that you do make contracts with them to learn lessons, whether you're the mom, whether you're the wife, whether you're the kid, whatever it is. And a contract means like, hey, you play this role so that I can learn these lessons. And I'm going to play this role so you can learn these lessons. So that's why we always feel close with the souls that we are with. You feel close with your son or your husband or wife, your partner, your kids, because we reincarnate with the same family groups most of the time, every time we come down here. So when we do that, and if you don't believe in reincarnation and past lives, that's okay. You don't have to understand all that. But just know in general, this life is the most important anyways, in general anyways. But we are learning lessons from every experience that comes in front of us that we have to go through. We have to learn how to get through it. We have to learn how to level up, evolve, and move forward, or it will hold you back. It'll make you sick, and it'll just be a ripple effect on your family, and everybody's going to still be in this karmic mess of thinking in a lower perspective, always feeling the lower vibrations because you don't understand how to actually get through this, okay? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that this is going to be fast to get over any of that, okay? But the harder this is to get over, the harder your experience, the more wisdom you can gain and apply it to your life. I understand the loss is tragic, but just know that person's okay. That might be one of your first questions. Okay, well, I understand that I got to get through this, but is the other person okay? Yes. What happens is people are locked in these belief systems. They don't understand what happens after we die. So it's scary to that individual that we love, and we don't know what happens. And you can research all this. You can look up near-death experience, NDEs. There is a big group of all kinds of different people that have experienced near-death experiences. They've traveled up to the spirit world, and then they traveled back, and they explain how it is, okay? This is just a body. Sometimes it gets sick. Sometimes it just fails. Sometimes it's just a tragic accident, and the soul leaves the body, but this is just a shell. The soul's fine. The soul's not disappearing. The soul isn't lingering and going to hell or any of that, unless they chose to. If they were really a dark spirit, really lost, they might linger and stuff, but you don't have to worry about that. The only thing you really need to worry about is how you're thinking and feeling about the situation. Because if you are sad and you can't move forward and can't get through this, it doesn't help that soul either, because they're so with you. They're watching you. They might be scared of the light, but the light and the love and the peace is right there for them whenever they're ready, okay? So you'll know your loved one. You'll know how they are. If they were a really great person and, they were a light being, they probably are immediately in the light, in the love, and they're fine. But no matter what, when people cross over, the soul, they're fine. Okay? Now, we all have free will. All I'm saying is if they refuse to go to the light, that's all they can. They don't have to. But most of the time, if the soul is a part of that light, they'll go to the light, and they're in nothing but peace and love. okay? That's what happens when we cross over and out of our body. You're immediately in just this nothing but pure love. So the soul's fine. No matter what, the soul's fine, I promise, okay? But the soul evolves better when they're watching all you guys handle it. So if you handle it and you're like, okay, I got to get through this. You try to stay strong, do the things that you need to do the healing, and learn and move forward. That person would love nothing but for you to learn lessons from their life and from this whole experience. And when a tragedy happens, it does bring the whole community together. So there are positive things after the tragedy that happens. I understand that sounds terrible, but it helps you know that their life wasn't for nothing, that they did make a difference even when they left the body, because they brought everyone together. They brought people to maybe change their perspective, wake up out of the matrix and say, hey, there's more to life than what we see. It helps you start learning and maybe getting into more wisdom. Maybe it brought you here to understand more about life and why it's the way it is, and how to get through loss, how to get through a tragedy. When I do quantum healing and I've talked to spirit world, I've talked to source, I've asked God this question too. How does this person, my client, when they're laying there, how do they get through this? How do they get through this loss? They're having problems like processing it, understanding it, and getting through it. And God said, well, they have to know it's a part of life. It's a part of the earth life. Loss is a part of life, and we have to learn how to accept it. So acceptance after you grieve will be your next step, okay? It's okay to accept the loss and send them lots of love and light, not sadness and feeling sorry and all these lower vibrations. We want to send that soul strength and love. And hey, thank you for being in my life as long as you were. And you may not feel like you can go on. You will. Your body has to go through the process. We are still human, even though we're a soul, we're a consciousness. We don't die. We are in a body. We still have to go through the human experience, which is the emotions, the breaking down the ego, the illusion of life, and maybe ask the question, is there more to life than what I have seen? Is that person, maybe they'll change into my spirit guide. Maybe they're still with me. Maybe they'll be leading me from the other side. Maybe, just maybe, keep breathing. If you're not, just keep breathing. And if you want to just sit there in that space and just listen, that's okay too. The reason why I have you do breath work is because I'm helping you change the energy in your body. Your body is very upset. It's basically traumatized. When you go through a tragedy, your body is traumatized, so we have to learn how to transmute that energy so that we don't leave it lingering in the body and it control our whole life after this. Keep doing the breath work. If you need breaks, take the break. But I'm just explaining why we do the breath work. I'm actually teaching you how to transmute energy. We're changing it from one form to another, from trauma into peace. This is our goal. We're going to change the tragedy, the loss, all of the bad emotions. I know it feels awful, it feels terrible, it feels like the end of the world, and we're going to change that into peace. Because this is the experience, the lesson that has been handed to you. And this is your opportunity to activate and dive in to the strength within you, the resilience, the perseverance, the changing your perspective and seeing life for what it is. I'm not saying it's not going to be painful, but it does help you get through the suffering. It does help you get through all of this suffering. Okay. So that's why I have you keep doing the breath work, is so that we are transmuting energy, we're healing together. And as I talk to you, I'm helping you change your perspective or see life for what it is. We have went through a loss. We have to accept that it has happened. We have to learn how to get through this. And this is what we're doing here. Every soul has free will. They have a choice. So we have to accept that that person chose, even if it was a fluke accident. If you look up the near-death experiences, it'll help you with that. But even in accidents, the soul still has a choice. And it was time for that soul to leave. And it was time for whoever is still left on earth to finish their experience and to learn lessons without that soul there, but knowing that they're still there, they're just not in a body. So if you understand that that actual soul hasn't died, then that helps give you a little bit of peace that they are still there. They do have to learn, and they have to go through processes up there as well. That is why the more you understand this and try to actually tap into this stuff and this wisdom and apply it and resonate and, process the truth, if it resonates with you, then when you are learning and evolving, so is that soul as well, okay? And you'll have another lifetime with them. If you don't believe in other lifetimes, that's okay, but you will. You will have another lifetime if you want to with them. You'll be with them together again if you want to look at it like that. Okay? So, it's going to be okay. I know it feels like it's the end of the world, but it'll be okay if you do the work and you learn how to heal yourself. You learn how to get through and actually learn from the experience. So that person's life wasn't for nothing. You're very grateful for however long that they were here. And now you want to prove and show to them that you can get through this, let them go, and still love them. Still, no matter what, love them. Don't be angry or upset that they left. Don't be sad, because it's their destiny. For whatever reason, you have to accept that. You have your own destiny, you have your own purpose, and so does everybody else. And you can't control their destiny. You can't control when they live or when they die. That's that soul's destiny. That's their evolution, whatever they chose. That person that left, they have to learn lessons and evolve from that experience, their destiny and their life, if that makes any sense. So when we put all the focus back on ourselves, which is what we did at the very beginning, we put it on our breath, and we start transmuting that energy. Just breathe in, or this is just one technique on how to transmute energy. Then we start changing our perspective, because our mind and our body's calming down. That's our goal with this when we're doing the breath work and the meditation and the healing sessions. Call it whatever you want. We're just trying to calm our mind and our body down, because when we're silent and still, we get the answers that we need in the healing. And most of all, we get that inner peace, even if it's just a little bit of relief. So when we're traumatized, when we go through a tragedy, a loss, we just need to go into solitude, spend time with ourselves. You can be around your family, but when you're doing your healing, your family will heal you too, but when you're doing this by yourself, you got to do it by yourself. You can receive healing and guidance from everybody, but you got to apply the work, is what I'm saying. Even after this session, I need you to go do it by yourself. We have to learn how to get through it. We have to learn how to transmute it and move forward so that we can move on with our life. Yes, that person wants to see you move on, accept it, and live your life. That person would never want to see you being sad and lonely and living a life that you didn't want to live because they're gone. Okay? So they do want to see you be happy. It helps them smile. It helps them evolve and know it's okay. It's hard for them too. It's hard for them to leave their loved ones. That's why we got to be strong down here. We can't send out, oh, sorry, all this, lower vibration feelings. I'm going to send out you strength. I'm going to send you healing. I'm going to send you light and peace. And I'm going to do that for that person too. Doesn't that help you feel a lot? It feels a lot better when you do that, doesn't it? Okay, they're okay, I promise. And they want you to be okay too. And that's why you're here. That's why this video has came across to you. Because they're trying to help you understand that they're okay. They're still with you. They understand it's terrible and it's sad. You got to go through the whole human emotions. But they want you to know they're okay. They want you to know that it's okay to accept, move forward, and live the life that you deserve. Okay? They're going to still be there with you. And more than likely, if you're really close to the person, they'll be your spirit guide. I talk to a lot of grandma and grandpas. Honestly, they're my favorite spirits. The other day I did one on Thursday and I asked the grandma, this is my favorite question. What have you been doing since you have left? And she said she's been hanging out with Jesus. And that was the first time I've ever got that. Usually, like some people tell me they're dancing or they're just sitting and enjoying each other, like the grandma and the grandpa. I get different answers for everybody. And this grandma said she's been chilling with Jesus and hanging out with him. So I thought that was really cool. And Jesus I'm really close with him too. He's one of my main spirit guides. He might be you too. You might be really close if you grew up with that. It doesn't matter who or what you grew up with, but you do have spirit guides and you have angels if you didn't know that. That person, when they left their body, their angels and their spirit guides were right there to welcome them in. So whether it was their grandpa, their grandma, whether they were close with Jesus, okay, so yes, you have your own and they do too. And yes, they were protected. And it's honestly not that bad of a process. Once you start studying the afterlife, people should be crying when babies are born because they got a lot of lessons that they got to learn, a lot of pain, a lot of stuff to go through in earth life. But when we die, we just go back to nothing but peace and love. And when you understand that, you'll feel this in your belly. You'll feel that truth in your belly. When you understand that, it gives you that peace. Because your first question, usually if it's someone that you really love, is, are they okay? Yes, they're okay. Okay? Just take some deep breaths if you haven't. Just relax, okay? When you take a deep breath, just like naturally, like if you were just sitting there after you heard me just say that, and you get a little bit of a relief, you're processing the truth, okay? You're processing it and you're healing, basically. So when we receive the truth, when we understand life, like what happens after we die, what happens now, like what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to move forward from this? It's okay to move forward. It's a part of the journey. I know it sucks. But when we accept it, it does give us that peace. When we have that breath, that relief, even if it's a little bit, you're getting a little bit of peace energy within you. Don't feel guilty about that. That person can feel it too. The soul. And it's really important. And the reason why I know this is because I do work with spirits and they tell me this stuff. I'm not just coming up with this information. They actually have told me this stuff. They tell me, and I ask them questions like, when I do the quantum healing session and we connect with their loved ones, I'm like, does this actually help you grow? And they love it. They tell me they wish they would have been able to do something like that. So if you haven't done quantum healing and you have went through a tragedy or loss, whenever you're ready, do not rush it. Try a quantum healing session. There's practitioners everywhere. There's only a few in Illinois, but you can go to the official QHHD website and look up a practitioner in your area if you want. But if you want to connect with your loved one, I highly recommend. It is the best way that I've ever came across to connect with your loved one. It's very honest, trustful, and it's on it. I will ask details that they couldn't even tell me to prove that it's their loved one, okay? So you can still communicate with your loved one. You don't even have to do that. I'm just explaining it will help give you a lot of peace if you do that. But you can communicate with them. Say, hey, give me a sign to let me know you're okay. I want to know if this chick's right. I want you to give me a sign. Test it. When you receive those signs, yes, you can test the universe. You can test that soul. Say, will you please give me a sign so I know it's you. I know you're okay. And I want you to know that I love you, and whatever you want to ask or give them. And then wait for the sign and be very patient. It'll come through in a physical form or a thought or a feeling, because they have to communicate and use, earth stuff to communicate with you. Okay. I know I've kind of went over a lot of information. All right. But once you understand this, doesn't it help you? Doesn't it give you a little bit more relief to understand a loss, why it happens? You're only in control of the way you are thinking and feeling in the way that you are in your destiny. You have to accept that. And you have to learn how to go on without them, which is the hardest part, I know. And that's what you're going to do here from now on. You're going to learn how to focus on yourself and do self-healing. It's highly important. You can do my other videos if you want, but we've already started the process when I've been talking to you. So here's the steps. They're simple, but it takes consistency. It takes time. It takes focus. And it takes patience. But when you go through a loss and a tragedy, it can activate wisdom within you, codes that you weren't tapped into. It can open up your consciousness, open up your mind, meaning you're learning new things, which helps you have the life that you deserve. You don't deserve to be sad and lonely. It's not if if it was your husband or your child or whoever it was, if it feels sad, like that you're going to be lonely or alone the rest of your life, you're not. You're not alone. That's why you came across this video. That's why you have spirit guides. You can't see everything. That's why you're learning here. You can't see everything in the unseen, or it wouldn't be learning. You wouldn't be tested and learning the lessons and evolving. There wouldn't be no reason for it, okay? So you can't see everything in the unseen. And some people, they actually do see their loved ones. They'll see them in dreams. So if you do see your loved one in a dream and they come and give you a message, write it down. They might say, hey, I am okay. So the message can come into a form of a dream, or you might see the person. Don't be scared if you do see spirits. I work with very few people actually see spirits that I have learned about. Most of the time, you might see an orb, a flash of light, out of nowhere, out of the corner of your eye. You might see a bird, numbers, a song. There's just a bunch of synchronicities to let you know that, hey, that person is actually there, okay? Send them love right now, all right? And this is how we're going to get through this and transmute and heal the energy, okay? So these are the steps. I'm getting back to the steps. Step 1, That's the power of focus. Where's your focus? I know it's chaotic and scattered everywhere, and you're might be focused on a lot of the past, like the memories. You might be worried about the future, but we got to try to refocus and focus on ourselves, because then we put our focus back in the present moment. So we don't want our focus all the time in the past and the future, because that creates anxiety and depression during this, okay? So if we understand, like, hey, if we can just, when your body's chaotic, you're gonna have to go try to calm it down like this. It's gonna be hard, but you gotta try to focus, refocus, and say, hey, I gotta do this. I gotta go spend time with myself, and I gotta do some healing, because I gotta show up for everybody else, for my kids, grandkids, for myself, and most importantly. Okay? So the first step is the power of refocus. Make yourself. Say, I have to do this. Focus, take it like in solitude, just go take a comfortable position in solitude, lay down, whatever. You can even do it in the car, shower. You're going to refocus on your breath. Is the second step, is the breath work. And you're going to start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're going to control it. You have to slow it down. You have to control it, okay? It's going to feel uncomfortable. Your body's going to be bucking, okay? Like it was maybe at the beginning. It still might. But I'm reiterating the steps so that you know. And you're not full of fear after you leave me, of the unknown and how you're going to get through this. But you're going to be solid on your steps. Focus, breath work, in and out. Why do we do that? Well, we're transmuting the energy with the breath work, but we're also calming our mind and body down. We're also tapping into the pharmacy within our body, and we're creating the chemicals that we need, because it's changing our energy. So you're doing a lot with the breath work with the second step. And then the third step, we've already been reiterating the first two. When you calm your mind and your body down, you start receiving the answers that you need, because you are becoming aligned with your soul, with your higher self. You can't do that when you're all chaotic and when you're all upset, when your body is going crazy. We got to learn how to calm our body down. We got to learn to say, hey, no, we're in control of our body. Our body's going to have to go through this. It's going to have to go through the trauma. We're going to have to learn how to release it. But we're going to have to use our focus muscle, and then do the breath work, which is not fun. I'm not saying it's fun, all right? And then the third step is, once you do start feeling that, if you feel it now, that's awesome. You feel your mind and your body calm, or it's more calm, even if it's a little bit, each time will get better, 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 and better. That's why it's consistency, and you got to make yourself do it, just like going to the gym. So you start reaching, and when you calm down, you're reaching, and now you're aligned with your higher self. Your body may still feel bad. That's all right. Doesn't mean that you're not aligned with that higher self. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to make sure that you're doing this exactly the way she's saying it, or anybody else. Just relax, be patient, okay? You're aligned with that higher self. You know your body isn't all, doesn't feel good still, but you feel a little bit of relief. So that's a positive note. So it's going to tell you, hey, that person's okay. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to get through this one day at a time. I don't know what it's going to tell you. I'm just explaining. You can write this down. This is why you got to spend time by yourself when you're not with me or anybody else. And write what it says down. It's going to tell you exactly the answers that you need and how to get through this, and what you need to do it. Okay, whether you need to go run 6 miles, ride the bike, or walk. Okay, you do have to do cardio. I'm just telling you right now. You're going to have to do cardio. You're going to have to exercise just 3 days a week. If you've never done this stuff and you're new to it, just start taking walks just a couple times a week, or once a week. Start with small steps, and then just keep adding to your goal. Okay, I don't know where you're at, if you're used to working out or you're not. You don't have to work out like people in the gym with the 6-pack abs. You just need to go release the energy in your body. You can do that walking, running, biking, any outside activity, gardening, cleaning, but try to get outside out of your house, because sometimes when you're in your house, it gets worse with the trauma, okay, and the anxiety, and it just doesn't make your body feel good if you constantly are inside, okay? So just go outside. But it's going to tell you exactly what to do. And then it's giving you healing now. So if you do feel a little bit calm, even if you're a little bit calmer, yes, it's still working. I promise. How do you know? Because I've already been through it. I've already been through it. And I teach people it now, and we have great results. I've walked the walk, teach people, and now I'm still doing that. That's why people like me as a healer. That's what my purpose is. I'm here to help guide and give you light. But I can't do that unless I went through it first. There's no way I could give you the wisdom that I have unless I walk through the walk first, okay? That's how I felt when I needed help. And that's how you probably feel. You're like, well, what have you been through that you're going to help me out? Well, I've been through it, okay? And I help people too. And yes, they're successful, but it does take time. Trauma isn't easy, but you can't level up from everything being easy and comfortable. I know that's hard to hear, but you can't grow. You can't evolve. You can't learn lessons when everything is just perfect and, comfortable. So when you reach that higher perspective, you start seeing things for what it is, because you're aligned with your higher self. You can see the way life is now, why things happen, how do you handle it. But the best thing and the most important thing I want you to take from this is, what can you learn from this? You're learning wisdom. You're learning how to tap into the codes you didn't probably know existed in your body. And I'm even talking spiritual gifts, like your healing capabilities, that you can heal yourself, that you can channel and talk to your loved one. And you can activate these gifts as you keep healing yourself. You'll activate new gifts, and your gifts will become stronger. I don't know what gifts that you were given, but you will find them out. So tragedy helps you find all this out. So we're going to use that. We're not going to let that life go for nothing. We're going to learn from that life. We're going to be grateful for that experience, for that person, that soul. And we're going to show them how to get through the trauma and help them as well. Because you'll help them as well. Okay? And then your friends, family, and your kids. So this gives you your opportunity to now level up and evolve. I know I've said before, man, I don't even want to. I don't want to go through this. I don't even want to evolve. I don't want to grow. I understand that, but deep down your soul does. That's why you're here on earth. You're growing. Okay? And when you are in the matrix and you're living this, everyday life, and it's the same, and, nothing's changing, so you're really not learning anything. So when something big and bad happens, yes, it's terrible, but we're going to take that terrible experience and that really bad tragedy, and we're going to turn it into something really great for everybody and that soul, so that it wasn't for nothing, so that it was actually for something, for that soul and me. And that soul, yes, is learning a lot of lessons through this, okay? So you want to send them strength and love. You send them sadness, they ain't going nowhere, okay? You send them weakness, they ain't going nowhere. That soul's strong. It's got it. It's got this. It's okay. It needs you to be strong too. And if I was up there, that's exactly what I would say. No, I want you to live the best life. I don't want you to be attached to me. I want you to let me go and help learn from my life, do better than me. So If that person died from, let's say they died from health issues. Okay, we did have a tragedy in a community that I grew up in, and they died of a health issue. Let's just say it is a health issue. Remember to do self-healing. This is what you're doing here. You got to do your healing. Okay, so if you have any part in your body that needs healing, we got to heal it. And you got to know that the most important lesson for all of us is our own destiny and self-care. How do I know that? Well, last week, I've known this a long time, and I've already went through a lot of sessions, but I had another session last week, and yes, we had to heal her heart. We had to heal her, all kinds of part of her bodies, but she did have a heart condition. She needed her heart healed. But when I put her under, we actually went through her past lives, and every life that she was living, she kept forgetting self-healing and self-care. Her focus was on everybody else. And she would end, the life ended, she would go up and she would explain, in the spirit body. And then I asked, what was the lesson and the purpose of that life? So that they're not in the same karmic loop in this lifetime. If you don't believe in past lives, that's fine. But you still don't want to be stuck in the same karmic loop as someone that has left. So if they do have a health condition, that's a karmic loop, a karmic loop. It's something that we have to learn from. So if that person did pass away from a heart condition, which is what happened in our community, then we have to learn from that. Well, how can we actually put wisdom in the community from this? Well, we got to learn how to heal your heart. Well, why do you have heart blockages, or why do you have heart issues? Well, there could be several factors, but more than likely it was to do with love. When you don't transmute love properly, and like if you have experiences with love issues, through your life, you might block off your heart. You didn't know that you were, but you didn't know how to transmute it out of it. You might be overexhausting your heart. There's different things to deal with the heart, but all I'm saying is a lesson for all of us is self-care. We have to start implementing self-care. So if something's off, we need to transmute it. We need to understand that. So we can use this person's life and say, hey, I'm going to dive into this wisdom, and I'm going to learn, how can we keep a healthy heart? How can we start keeping our bodies healthy? Yes, the doctors are there for certain reasons. If I'm in an accident and I need sewed up, I'm going to go to the doctor. But I'm not going to go to them to learn how to transmute energy. I'm not going to go to them, say, hey, can you heal my heart? Because they don't actually know how to do that. I'm not going to, when I went through my trauma, I went to the preachers, I went to therapists and doctors, and none of them could tell me the wisdom that I'm learning in this. None of them did. But that's okay. That's not their fault. They're just playing certain roles. You go to them for certain reasons. I wouldn't go to a therapist for healing. And I learned I don't go to the preachers for any of that either, or for higher answers. I asked a preacher one time, hey, why is this bad thing happening to me? And he didn't know. He just said God had your back. I don't need that answer. I need to know why. I need to know why I'm going through this. How do I get through it? And how do I heal myself? And is it okay to be happy again? Is it okay to live the life that I deserve? Because we do hold some of that guilt sometimes. Oh my God, they left, and and I'm still here. You kind of feel guilty that you might have that. Let that go. You're here for a reason. It's very important. But what I'm saying is, when a loss actually does happen, we want to learn from that individual. We want to, because that empowers that individual, and it empowers the community, and their life wasn't for nothing, and they actually helped a lot of people. We actually spreaded good wisdom and truth so that everybody can have knowledge. For what? Well, to live the life that we deserve, so that we don't leave our families, so that we can experience a full life, a great life. Yes, there's going to be tragedies and hiccups and obstacles, but now I know wisdom how to get through it. I'm not saying it's not going to be painful or there's not going to be suffering, but now I know how to get through it. I know not to have the fear take over my body from the unknown. I know not to let grief and sadness and loneliness take over my life. I know I have to get through it and let it out of my body. I know that that's okay. So when you're here, even if you were crying with me, even if you anything that's coming up when you're in this session, I need you to release it, okay? Or let it out of your body. But when you leave, it's okay to cry. It's actually good because you're releasing energy. Sing. Even if it's sad music, just let it all out and then move on. You don't need to listen to it for years. Listen to a sad song, let it help get your emotions out, let it out. I don't care if it's for months. That's okay, I've done that. Okay? Extreme working, don't do that, but you can just keep yourself busy. Just work, but do not overwork. You have to do self-care. If you don't, your body will trap those energies inside of you from the loss, from the trauma, and you will start getting sick. Okay? And then it's just affecting everybody else around you. So we got to nip this in the bud. We got to understand how it is. I'm not saying you're going to get through this overnight or in a couple months. It is going to take time, especially if the person's close to you. Okay? But everything's going to be all right. Okay? So that's when you align with that higher perspective. That's what's going to tell you how to kind of release this energy out of your body and transmute it and get through the experience. Okay. So I was just letting you know that crying is really good because people have asked. Journaling is huge. Journaling, even your thoughts. You should see my journal. Some of it's not very nice. I'm like, F this, F that. Life sucks. I've said all kinds of stuff. That's okay. Let it all out of you. This is BS. I hate that. Whatever it is, just let it out and then let it just go. Okay? You don't have to keep carrying it on. That's the acceptance. You got to accept. And when it's raw, it's hard. I understand that. But you'll get through it. Just keep doing self-care. It's highly important, especially if the loss came from a health condition. That is a huge message for everybody in the community. You guys need to start tapping into wisdom, figuring out if you need help, go ask for help from the right places. If you need to heal your body, get to healing it. And don't take your family for granted. Don't take your life for granted anymore. Try to learn wisdom and show up and live the life that you deserve. Okay? So I want you to try to make sure your focus when you leave me is more in the present moment. Just try to stay one day at a time. Just focus one day at a time. Do your self-healing and your self-care. And something like this, the meditation, they call it meditation. I call it solitude. You can call it whatever you want. But meditation is just trying to connect with your inner world, your higher self, and make sure that your energies are balanced and you're in alignment with your higher self. And then we try to raise our vibration so that we are broadcasting the energy that we want. This is what I just went through you with. We literally, even if it's a little bit of relief, a little bit of peace, that's exactly what you've just done. You're changing the energy in your body. And when you change the energy in your body, you are changing your vibration and you're changing your reality. Little by little, you'll get through this. Okay? I know it feels terrible, but I promise if you feel a little bit of peace today from this, you're doing the work and you're giving that person a little bit of peace as well. Okay? Now, no matter what or how that person passed away, there's always lessons to learn. So even if it was a complete accident, health issue, or a suicide, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. I want you to ask yourself from here on out, how can I learn from this and apply it to my life so that I can live the best life that I want? The people on the other side, the souls, they're not people, the souls, they want you to live your best life and learn from them and they want to learn from you. This is your opportunity. This should give you a little bit of peace and light today. The truth gives you that peace and light. It doesn't give you knots in your belly. It doesn't fill you more with fear, more with confusion. The truth is from God, and God's energy is love, peace, light. Okay? And it's not full of fear and confusion. It's not full of dark, heavy energy. Okay? So what we did was, with those 4 steps, is we changed your energy, we have aligned with your higher self, and we have raised your vibration. Even if it's a little bit, doesn't matter. You're still doing the work. Even if you don't feel good and it still feels really, really bad, it's okay. It's normal. I promise you just gotta keep doing it. If this video even helped a little bit, then listen to it again and again. And there's other people out there that you can resonate with. Just ask for help from the universe. Say, hey, I need help right now. I need you guys to send me some people to help me understand why I'm going through this, okay? Just listen to whoever resonates with you and go with what you feels right. But the most important thing is we're learning lessons from this tragedy, this loss. We're applying it. And most importantly, we're doing self-care and self-healing. Because when we're focused on ourselves, we're controlling the way we're thinking and feeling and showing up. And we're controlling the only thing we're responsible for, which is our destiny. Is this making sense? Okay. Now, I'll teach you, I know at the end it was a little more advanced. I'm teaching you and explaining you more about energy and what's going on in the unseen with our bodies. You can listen to my other videos to learn more about that. You don't have to know any of that. Just the basic terms: focus, breath. We start calming our bodies down. We reach that higher perspective. It gives us the healing and the answers that we need. And then you're going to write it down and apply it. So if it tells you to drink water, drink water. If it tells you, hey, you need to go outside and take a walk to clear your mind, go outside and take a walk and listen. Push yourself. Even if it's one thing per day, just one thing little to help you, it'll help you get through this, okay? But you got to make more goals as you go along. I will make other videos. I'm going to be putting out more videos of healing and getting through these difficult experiences with our life. And so stay tuned for more. But when you're in that blank space and we've got everything that we needed, you can just kind of sit in that space now. You can just sit in that space and chill, okay? And try to chill as long as you want. If you need an hour, take an hour. It's okay. It's okay to feel this peace and this relief. You are doing a huge effect, not only for yourself, but for everybody involved, including the lost loved one. Okay? It's okay to do this. This is your birthright. This is what you deserve. And you know it. You know that deep down. You know everything's going to be okay. You're not going to be alone. Okay? You have other experiences in your future, but you don't need to think about the future right now. You need to stay present. Focus in the present. Because if you start lingering to the past or the future, you're not going to feel good. If you stay there too long, just refocus and then focus on yourself and your breath. Start listening and then applying, taking the action. Slow, steady, small steps. The turtle wins the race. You're not trying to win anything, but you want to overcome this. You want to defeat this loss. And you want to make sure it's not for nothing, because you have so much love for that person. This is how it's for nothing. You learn and you apply it to your life, and it is just a ripple effect for everybody. That should feel good. It should give you a little bit of peace, and it's good to feel that relief, okay? Don't feel guilty about it. You just sit in that space, okay? The longer you can hold this vibration, this consistency, the better it is for you and for everybody, okay? If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I will answer them. If you have any specific questions about your specific situation, I'm sending you a lot of strength, wisdom, love, peace, and light. You're gonna make it through this, even if it doesn't feel like it. You will. You're not gonna give up. I will see you next session. Do your self-care, your self-healing, and we'll see where you're at next time, okay?